Hello, party people. A special treat today. We're gonna do something a little different again. So every once in a while, right? Sometimes in person, but mostly on my Facebook. Sometimes I make jokes on my news feed, if you want to call it my wall, if they still call it that. I don't know. Facebook is weird. I don't know, but now, granted that the majority of these are quote-unquote dad jokes, but the majority of them, as far as I know, I've thought of myself. There's a lot of wordplay, so that's why a lot of people confuse them for dad jokes. But hey, we're not here to talk about that. We're just here for the jokes. Now, this is a compilation of every Facebook joke I made, in typing and writing, whatever you want to call it, from February 28th, 2022 and before, in no particular order. They are categorized, but you see. All right, we're gonna start off with the first section here. Here comes the first category, celebrity jokes, right? It's like Taylor Swift has a song for everything these days. Did you hear the one about going to the bathroom? It's called Shake It Off. She also has a song about a group of famous women all having their menstrual cycles at the same time. It's called Bad Blood. So Tay-Tay's reputation, right? It might take another hit. She and her entourage were in an upscale Hollywood bar when some fans started taking all these pics of them on their phone. She signaled her bodyguard to accidentally destroy the phone, and he was promptly thrown out. That's what I call swift justice. Because you see, some of these I'm going to have to explain, and it'll be less funny. So just pause for a second and think about it, and it'll come to you. But swift justice, Taylor Swift. See, now it's not funny no more. That implies it was funny before. I'm just saying. Pepto-Bismol is endorsing a remake of one of Avril Lavigne's songs for a commercial. New chorus goes, "Why do you have to go and make things so constipated? Acting like my bowels makes me so irritated." If someone with uncontrollable movements and sounds didn't want to shop at Walmart anymore, then would they have Tourette's syndrome? Get it? Like Tourette's and Target? Fuck this. I'm just gonna steal Amy Schumer's jokes. She stole them from someone else anyway. It's a victimless crime. If I have a second son, assuming I have a first son, we'll see. Probably not though. But if I ever did, I want to name them after Justin Timberlake. But I want him to become a detective, so his nickname can be Just In Case. Moving on, it's been reviewed that instead of having affairs with other women, Tiger Woods plans to masturbate instead of cheating. I guess he had to put a stroke on it. If Donald Trump decided to open a business selling penis enlargers, then would it be called a Trump pump? If you have to ask too soon, it's too soon. Even though their popularity peaked, Chris Cross was thinking of making a remix to Jump. Their career did end, but no one will ever hear Chris Cross jump to conclusion. I don't know why, but Will Smith is making a pornographic sequel to one of his movies. It's called Wild Wild Breasts. So, we're just going to keep it rolling. This is a lightning round right here. So the family of Bruce Lee are releasing food products. The brand will be called Chef Boyardee. If RoboCop came out of the closet, then would he be called a robosexual? If a homeless person became gay, would they be called a hobosexual? Now, if Tony Romo, the famous quarterback way back when, if he came out of the closet and be gay, would he be called yes, he would still be a quarterback. That the closest thing to the Super Bowl he's going to come is commentating for one. Shots fired. Shots fired. You guys know Wonder Woman, right? If she was a transvestite, then do you think her name would be Woman? I wonder. What do toddlers say if they become famous like Drake? Started from the bottom, now we're here. A lot of people didn't like the previous movie about Steve Jobs and the origins of the Apple company. Personally, I think Ashton Kutcher and the cast did a good job. Get it? They did a good job. I'm here all night, guys. Here all night. This is just a start. We're here all night. I hear Samuel L. Jackson has a new movie about a hitman turned math teacher. They call him Subtraction Jackson. These rappers want to be thugs. Like, they think they're so hard. What would happen if T.I., Lil Wayne, Kanye, and Jay-Z fought Amanda Nunes in a 4-on-1? They'd be saying, no one in the octagon got staggered like us. It's over. It's a rap. Get it? It's a rap. Get it? Rap. I was in California one time, and Arnold Schwarzenegger asked me if I wanted to share a cab with him. I looked at him and I asked, "Bro, do you even live?" You see, this doesn't work right now because it's not in. You're not reading it. What was actually the joke was the word Lyft after the company that is a competitor of Uber, Lyft. Now, you're not going to get that if you hear me say it. That's all I'm saying. It's not my fault. It's not my fault some of these jokes aren't funny. That's what I'm saying. They're all funny, but... Alright, how did that guy ever marry Britney Spears? That guy's game must have been on point. He must have fed her lines. Einstein and a former pop star drunk equals E equals MC hammered. So Soulja Boy's gaming system didn't work out, but now he wants to invest in bakeries, restaurants, and pizzerias and stuff like that. But his agent is really trying to convince him to change the name of the food products. Nintendo needs more originality because it would just be another copyright disaster all over again. I'm not a fanatic of Game of Thrones, but I wish someone would win whatever battles or wars that are going on. If the show drags on any longer, then I hope everyone dies and the entire cast is going to be redone. Some of these B actors and actresses need to be thrown out. Tough crowd, damn. Okay, if Jay Leno had a garage sale, I'm going to ask is everything in the garage is included? What does Justin Timberlake wear when he's going to an Asian cuisine, Asian restaurant? A suit and tie. In quotes, I used to be taken, but not anymore. Unquotes. My reply, oh, you're not taken anymore? Did Liam Neeson save you? Trump has a favorite anal sexual position for all Americans called the Trump hump. It's not that original because we've already been getting fucked in our ass when he was president. We were getting fucked in our ass all the time. So like it's not a Trump hump, it's just business as usual. I heard some guys enter prison straight and leave homosexual. Breaking news, Drake is going to jail. Started from his bottom, now he's queer. As you can see, some of these jokes play off the other ones, but I don't have them in the right order. Apologies. A lot of people didn't know that Bruce Lee convinced and helped the CBS anchor, Cronkite, to stay true to himself, yet still report unbiased news. It was simple, Lee told him. Be like Walter Cronkite. Historians found out Hitler was into some kinky shit, man. Eva Braun wore a strap-on and performed anal sex on him. Objects in the Führer are larger than they appear. Yo, I hope a lot of people watch this video and like, I'll conclude. I'll say something at the end. There's a message I want to send. My neighbor has one of those groomed poofy dogs. The dog knocks out some other dog. I'm going to nickname the male dog Fluff Daddy. Santa wanted to send Mrs. Claus a selfie, but he accidentally sent a Nick pic. Eminem is going to collaborate with Carl Winslow and Steve Urkel to do a remake of a TGIF show. It's going to be called Marshall Matters. I don't know if anyone remembers Natalie Imbruglia's only mainstream song, but she changed careers. She owns a company making elevators, believe it or not. The company is called Elevatorn. Yeah, that was a hard one. If you don't know your pop music, you're not going to get that one. Alright, I'm going to get something to drink and I'll be right back. Sorry guys, my mouth was getting really dry. These are family-friendly jokes to all the families out there. What did the older model cell phone say to the newer model when it was crying? There, child. Come to data. Come to data. Or come to data. It works either way. Oh. So I'm driving, and I notice the sign says, slow children. I'm like, damn. Why these people gotta single out the slower kids? Maybe they have short attention spans, or they're out of shape. Why they gotta rub it in like that? So a jar of pickles and a bottle of ketchup fought each other to the death, Mortal Kombat style. When the pickles won after getting beat up pretty badly though, it said, let's relish this victory. If horses sold office if horses sold office supplies, then what would their store be called? Stables? So I was watching Channel 3 or CBS, and there was professional bull riding on. I noticed that these bulls just poop all over the damn place in the arena. But I guess when you watch CBS, sometimes you CBS. That was one of my first jokes on Facebook. If not the very first, one of the first. I was watching bull riding again. And this smaller or older bull that didn't put up much of a fight, a farmer wanted to buy him though. He was so affordable. When people get into an argument or fight, they say stuff like, that's bullshit if they don't agree. Just like when you watch CBS, you CBS. Some people say, that's baloney. I never understood why people would say that though, but now I know. I realize that a disagreement is like baloney. Fake beef. You know when you get a pepperoni pizza and the pepperoni slices are all kind of small? They're all kind of small, you know, those little circles? If I owned a pizzeria place, then I would have much bigger slices. I'd call them peppertonis. Because sometimes bigger things can come from smaller packages. Shout out to all my honeys out there. Kiss me through the phone. Just saying, kiss me through the phone. I don't know why I included the last word. Maybe it was a segue or something. I don't know. You know what puppies who eat Mighty Dogs food and kids who eat Mighty Kids meals from McDonald's, what they have in common? They're both eating a mighty pile of shit. What happens when you combine Double Dragon and Senior Citizens? Streets of Age. Again, family-friendly jokes. Continued. This knife I bought from Home Depot. It broke the first time I used it. It's my fault though, because the tag did say futility knife. If a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle had a high sperm count, should he be called a fertile turtle? If a deer wanted to learn how to fight, would she study Taekwondo? What do you call fake pasta? Rigaphony. If I ever have a son, then I'm going to name him Brock, because you can't be tough unless you eat your broccoli. I should have made that joke with my last missed opportunity, excuse me. I recall there being a comic about the Silver Surfer being a villain. These other Marvel superheroes defeat him. Does anyone know what he was made of? I guess his plans were aluminum foiled. There's this new fashion line out from the long-running newspaper comic strip, Calvin and Hobbes. It's called Calvin Fine. Did you hear about the population rise in Ireland? It's Dublin. What do Dragon Ball characters say after they make a joke? I'm just saying. My original jokes are going to new heights. I'm going to start making elevator jokes all the time. They work on so many levels. You know how cats like to knock things down with their paws? Is that considered cat lateral damage? What do bipolar people experience in stores like Home Depot? Highs and lows, highs and lows. I want to try bison meat. There was only one left, but it was really hard, like in texture and stuff. I wasn't sure how to prepare for it, but I thought I might have to beat it harder. However, the label said M bison, so I realized where I went wrong here. I realized I should have picked a different piece of meat opponent. What do religious investors call money? The root of all weeble. So my waitress was getting my order, and she asked me if I wanted to know of any of the specials containing meat. I thanked her for asking. I asked her what she thought of the beef. I should have asked for her number though, because she was so nice. I realized she was too young for me though, when she was coming back to the table with my food. She could have been my next mistake. That one takes a while. That one takes a while. It's harder when it's not in print, I understand. What do they call Fortnite in France? Battle Royale with cheese. What do you get when you mix a binder and a boa constrictor? A trapper keeper. My favorite belt broke. I can't even fix it now. What a waste. If I answer a registered nurse's question first, does that make me a first responder? What do I think of the rumored toilet humor in Modern Warfare and everyone shitting their pants? I'm going to answer that by calling it the Call of Duty. There's a new way to deal with mad cow disease now. They're going to move the cows in the rubber rooms and make them wear steak jackets. If the police oversee a yard sale, does that mean I can bring Scotland Yard to America for real, police? I was on the fence about the purchases, but I figured I would just do it. That one takes a while. Don't just save this point in the video and come back to it later. You get it. I was talking to someone on another dating app. Things were going well until I made an inappropriate joke and dropped the ball. It was humbling though. Even though I stumbled and made a bumble fumble. Does anyone local have a capture card I can borrow? I'm getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I'll explain that one. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! As in when I asked for a capture card to borrow, I will Yu-Gi-Oh! Them a favor. This humor is wasted on you guys. You know, it's that kind of day when you try to put a sock on over your foot that you just put a sock on, and then you wonder why the sock feels weird. Anyone ever notice the legs of thin supermodels? How do they stay so fit like that? Their clothes can be so tight. Must be those skinny jeans. What did the optometrist say to the new employee that was struggling? You're going to need more supervision. It's so expensive to redesign the garden. I'll save some hedge funds. You know how vegetables can give you gas? Vegetarians are supposed to be healthier and live longer. Well, if they became zombies and still had a lot of veggies in their system, would they be the farting dead? What do they call people from Rhode Island who aren't smart? Well, generally, these people are from Providence. I got a promotion and ranked up at the movie theater. They made me a colonel. One sunburned gentleman... sorry, my mouth's getting a little dry. One sunburned gentleman says to a gentleman from the tropics who is trying on a brown suit, when they see each other walking down the street, the slope of the street, they're going to say, "What a tan, gent." So the trigonometry teacher says to a 16-year-old kid, "I'll help you buy a car because I'll co-sign." A lot of people don't know this, but King Arthur had some insecurity issues. He wanted Lancelot to not work weekends and try to cut his hours. I guess Arthur wanted to make him feel like a weeknight. A weeknight. A week, pause, night. Okay, so the next one, I'm gonna get something to drink again and we'll prepare. Alright, this next category, it's a little bit more rated R, hopefully not NC-17, but these are sexual jokes. If a meteorologist became an adult film star, then could they predict climax change? If you were married to a USB hub, then would you call it your hubby? What do you call... Oh, wait, I already know this. What do you get when you mix porn stars and professional poker players? Shuffle up and feel. You know what I always thought was funny? If you're homosexual and you meet someone the same build as you, you've basically doubled your wardrobe. The funny thing is that you came out of the closet to put more stuff into the closet. You came out of the closet to put more stuff into the closet. So you know how when a guy puts a condom on, and if it's a color like green or some shit, and if it looks like red or yellow, like a hot dog, with ketchup or like banana or mustard sometimes? Well, have you ever seen a green condom? Is that like a cucumber or pickle or mint leaves? I guess it gives a whole new meaning to condom mints. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to work in fast food. I've always wanted to work at Taco Bell though. I hear it's a lot like working in porn. I would always ask, do you want it hard or soft? We're here all night, guys, all night. Someone told me that dirty carpets can catch on fire easily. There was a story about a female on her knees giving oral sex to a male, but she suddenly dropped her cigarette and it caused the carpet to catch on fire. I guess that should be another definition of rug burns. So someone was saying to me how a penis was a penis. Let me explain. He was saying that penis is like a chiclet when it's flaccid, and it can come in a variety of colors and starts off small. So I was like, is it one chiclet or an entire pack of chiclets turning into a bigger penis? Does it get softer if you chew it and put your mouth on it? I was so confused, man. I was so confused. To celebrate an anniversary of Michelin tires, the Michelin man went on a blind date and hooked up with the Michelin woman. Michelin woman has been around the block. Michelin man didn't want to be rubber man, so now he has HEPA tires. Gotta wrap it up. I actually know someone who is a sailor, like on an actual boat. This person became so infatuated and in love with the open ocean that they dumped the significant other. That's what I call a strong relationship. Because it's a sailor. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming? Did anyone know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were bisexual? They liked that female reporter, but they were always going to manholes. So if there are two computer nerds both having sex, if one has to go to the bathroom because he was taking such a pounding, is that considered a hard drive dump? I heard male porn stars are good at basketball. Why? They know how to practice load management. I hear some male porn stars are good at basketball. Oh shit, I just didn't know. What do dogs and I have in common? We like to chase that tail. Here's a shower thought. Why are female breasts not referred to as chestnuts? This was from a personal ad. I've got a house in LA with 2 businesses and a tongue that's a big part of the reason no girl has ever left me. All I'm saying is that with that whole Tyson biting Holyfield's ear off, that shit was misconstrued, alright? How do we know that Tyson was just nibbling and doing some foreplay? Some people are into biting, that's all I'm saying. Maybe he just bit too hard. Maybe he didn't use his safety word or just forgot to say, sorry Mike, no third base on my Holyfield. Just maybe Holyfield didn't want to put out until the third date. If I already knew how to escape from a hedge mage while abroad, does that still count as roaming? Does checking my data usage use up my data usage? If I received an inaudible voicemail from someone I met from a dating app, does that mean it was a bumble mumble? If someone was trying to cockblock me online with someone they knew I was interested in, are they trying to hinder my Tinder? Did you know? Oh, okay. When male porn stars, quote unquote, hit it big time, do they come into money? I'm just asking. Maybe if I become a male porn star, I might want to come in some money too. Did you know there's a Japanese remix to a two Live Crew song way back when? Yeah, it's called Miso Horny. I was talking to this owner of the burger joint. The name of the place was inspired by Jason Biggs in American Pie. It's called Smash Burger. He went on to say that this other owner named his place after fucking someone from behind. That's called Way Back. So you have to know a little bit about Milford and Orange geography to get that one, but you know, it was a slow night. What can I tell you guys? It was slow. Yo, I heard that this is gonna be a crazy movie, man. There are rumors that Chris Farley was gay. In the biography movie, Vin Diesel is going to play him, and he's gonna gain weight. The movie is going to be called The Fat and the Curious. North is the only one that matters. The other directions don't matter. Because I know my boner is like a compass when I see one direction. Where do computer nerds go for their vacations? The Virgin Islands. Do I have to explain that one? Like, just think about it. Do you think Lance Armstrong has phantom other testicle syndrome? Because, you know, his testicle, he only has one testicle now because he lost the other one. Not that that's funny. I'm just saying the joke itself is funny, but that's not funny. What do they call a tampon made by Nissan that only moms use? A maxi ma. Movie jokes. Let me get something to drink, and we'll jump right back. Luckily, this video is in parts, so that's good. So, next is movie jokes. What did the Jedi professor say when he found out his students were cheating? I sense a disturbance in the course. Normally, I don't post restaurant reviews, but have y'all heard of Eli's? Like Eli's on Whitney or Eli's whatever other places like that? But the menu at Eli's Tavern in downtown Milford is huge. I think they call the menus the Book of Eli's. Remember the chastity belt from Robin Hood, Men in Tights? I found out they did in fact make briefs and boxers out of metals. It gives a whole new meaning to Under Armour. There's a new song for the Thor movies. The chorus goes, "Loki, Loki, you should really get to know me." I'm starting a business selling male performance enhancing drugs that are natural and safe. Some of these meatheads got mad at me because they weren't getting better results than the other drugs out there. These guys could have murdered me, but I gestured and told them this: these are not the roids you are looking for. Breaking news: Obi-Wan's role in Star Wars is going to be resurrected. Although the new actor is going to be Lance Armstrong, one of his lines was leaked. These are the roids you are looking for. There was a football player who got busted on drug tests but not for roids. He was going for the highs, man. Titanic plus Latina singer equals My Heart Will Go On. Now we're gonna jump right into some racist jokes here. Like these, all I gotta say about some of these, I realize they're offensive, but if you look back on my Facebook wall newsfeed, you'll see when I made these jokes, and some of them are relevant now, but they weren't relevant back then. And I don't see the reason I need to take them out of my comedy skit. But hey, whatever. Remember segregation jokes or times, right? Remember segregation times where white and black kids went to separate schools. I'm pretty sure the kids heard wrong or misunderstood when their parents told them to bring their backpacks to school. Did you hear about that disease that killed all those people in Africa? It's called the Ebonic Plague. The Bloods are red and the Crips are blue, right? What happens to all those gangsters who are out there who got shot or they're missing limbs? They should form a different group called Gang Green. What do Chinese people call duck pond in Milford? Dinner reservations. Why do so many young people in Asia want to die? I like that movie about the forest where some young people go to commit suicide. Maybe it's a Japanese thing. I didn't realize there was so much youth in Asia. Name an Asian character on Fresh Prince. Uncle Filipino. When I was young in Bridgeport, right, I got picked on so much. And the bullies, they like to embarrass me. This one kid was called the Black Panther. Sorry guys, got distracted a little bit there. Being Asian, a lot of people think I'm good at origami. But they don't know I sort of cheat, and sometimes I even mail my masterpieces to other people to show off. It requires a special delivery though. I tell the post office to mail it post-pace. So white officers are targeting KFC restaurants, not because of the stereotype that black people like fried chicken, but like the police claim there are easier and bigger targets there. It's called Operation Black Lives Fatter. Watch the beginning of the previous video where he talked about the racism and when these jokes were published on my newsfeed. I used to have this Jewish friend who changed to a different religious sect. I'm not exactly sure the details. Well, he started to isolate himself from society, and every time we hung out, he was always in a bad mood and sour. He must have been a Hasidic Jew. Has anyone ever been to like a job orientation where it's you and other new employees getting taught how to do stuff? There's always something about a code of conduct, like how to act, your behavior, being an equal opportunity employer. With all this emphasis on minorities, I think the training manager made a mistake when he gave us the number to the ethnics hotline. We're moving on to sports jokes. I went into a barbershop and asked for a fade. I said I wanted to look like LeBron, but he's self-conscious about losing his hair. I guess they call that a fadeaway. I'm thinking of playing minor league baseball in Florida. I could be a pitcher of orange juice. So Floyd Mayweather wants Chris Brown and Soulja Boy to fight. I think this fight will make money. But it's all going to be all Chris Brown. Like, all Chris has to do is pretend Soulja Boy is Rihanna, and it's over. If he can beat up a woman, then he can beat up a boy. So I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are a good basketball team. You know, I also do online dating. Sometimes I like to watch basketball and do something else on the internet at the same time, in terms of multitasking. Sometimes I watch OKC while on OKC. If Magic Johnson was still playing ball, if he's defending someone and he gets fouled hard and he starts bleeding, is that quarantine zone defense? So that movie, Skyscraper, if The Rock falls to his death, then does that mean he hit the rock bottom? The Rock is so cocky though, you know? When Pebble asked him to borrow some money, The Rock wanted him to beg. And he said, "Gravel at my feet." When Shaquille O'Neal was poor, he lived in a shack. He couldn't even afford to use his full name at the time. I don't like this whole layup culture or trend developing in the NBA. I mean, if you're tall enough, just fucking dunk it. There's a reason why there's a Sprite slam dunk contest and not the RC Cola layup contest. Just saying. To all these people who knew RC Cola. Alright, so this last part is going to be borrowed jokes. These are not mine. Everything before this next clip was mine, as far as I know. As far as I know, I was the first person to think of it. There might be variations of it, I don't know. But before I forget, thank you for watching this video and supporting me. One of these days I'll do this as a stand-up comedy. I'll find an open mic night and we'll do this. I can't memorize all these jokes, but I'll bring some papers up with me. But yeah, be right back, guys. My mouth is also getting dry again. Alright guys, this is the last batch of religious jokes. And a bunch of them are religious, but these are more importantly borrowed jokes that I got from, you know, just my experiences in the media. Do you guys remember the writer's strike? So late night television hosts like Joe Leno, they hired temporary writers to, you know, try to fill up the space, and they weren't as good. And Jay Leno finally said, you know what, I'm gonna bring a priest, a minister, and a rabbi to my show to make jokes. And eventually the last two jokes will be those, but for now these are for your enjoyment first. Borrowed jokes, remember, I didn't think of these myself. Everything before this was Tony original, right there, one of a kind. When did the father buffalo tell his boy buffalo after he dropped him off at university? Bye, son. Due to my isolation, I finished 3 books yesterday. That's a lot of coloring. So when does a joke become a dad joke? When the punchline becomes apparent. Real G's, the OGs, original gangsters, they move in silence, like lasagna. Is your Bluetooth on? Because I'm in pairing mode. Dating is like algebra. You look at your ex and wonder why. I don't know what got played more this year, me or Despacito. Why do Asian women have small breasts? Because only A's are acceptable. Last couple jokes right here. Borrowed jokes, not mine. A priest, minister, and a rabbi are witnessing the end of the world. All religious people are being put to death. They're granted one last wish. The priest says he has no regrets and demands to be killed. The minister requests that we try to rebuild a better society. The rabbi says, I sure could you go for some some fresh strawberries. The angry mom looks at him and they're like, this is the end of the world. There's nothing left. It's not even the right season for strawberries. The rabbi replies, I'll wait. A priest, a minister, and a rabbi are praying on a California beach. God parts the clouds and says that he can grant each one of them a wish for following him so devotedly. The rabbi wishes for peace for the Jews because they have suffered so much. God made it happen. The minister wished for the largest church and following to praise the word of God. God made it happen. The priest thought about it and said, God, I've always wanted to take a vacation with my wife and daughters, but they're afraid of flying, and I don't want to fly by myself, that'd be kind of weird. Can you build an interstate highway connecting California to Hawaii? And God thinks about it and says, my son, that is so selfish. Think of the manpower and the resources required for that project. The priest changes his wish and says, God, can you just let me know what women are thinking? God replies, so how many lanes do you want on that highway? Alright guys. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was a little different than what we normally do. That's my joke for like the last 10 years that I randomly posted on Facebook, because when you think of something that could be a joke, you have to write it down somewhere. I usually put it in the notes section of my phone just so I don't forget it. Yeah, if you think of a joke and it's good, you got to write it down, type it somewhere, send yourself an email. You have to, because you will forget it. Trust me, you will forget it. It might come back later, but you never know. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.